folks. This is crazy. Now, excuse me, this location may seem a little odd. I'm actually here at Mall of Georgia because my daughter is getting her hair braided, and I'm just hanging out here. I'll probably be here for like the next, 6 or 7 years, but I just came across a crazy story, something I wanted to share with you guys just to keep you in the loop and let you know what's going on. There is a huge wealth transfer that is actually going on right now. And that wealth transfer isn't exactly what you may think. Now, I talk about a lot of different things on this channel, particularly those that revolve around the economy, money, finance, personal wealth, building assets, cash flow producing assets, investments, investing in stocks, protecting that money, building businesses, passive income streams, multiple income streams, budgeting, maximizing your money, protecting your savings, credit cards, credit scores, loans, debt, lending, interest rates, mortgages, housing market. We're covering all that. Now, this is very important because this is a story of a large YouTube personality, or maybe just social media influencer personality. And we're seeing more of these stories coming out here recently, especially with the FTX scandal and Sam Bankman-Fried and billions of dollars of investors' money being lost in cryptocurrency, decentralized currency. Decentralized is synonymous for non-regulated, which is synonymous for very risky, which is synonymous for gambling. So with that being said, we're going to see this happening more and more, but it actually paints a picture, and it introduces the conversation for another topic, which is the legitimacy of wealth and income and assets and personal net worth and protecting everything that you've worked so hard to get. Now, I will say, I never noticed before how many people just randomly walk around the mall. I think people just like take laps around the mall, which I've noticed some people come through here as I'm sitting here, and they're just walking. Great form of exercise. You're out away from the elements, and theoretically a safe environment. That's neither here nor there. Safe is relative. However, we are in a constitutional carry state, so I'll just leave it at that. Now, with that being said, the person in particular that I wanted to share the story with you about, his name is Kevin David, and I think his real name is like Kevin Holst or something, but I was watching another YouTube content creator, and he was sharing information about Kevin David's most recent lawsuit. Kevin David apparently made about $54 million over the past 5 years through various means and methods, primarily with Amazon, fulfillment by Amazon, Amazon FBA. And the funny thing is, I'm actually familiar with Kevin David somewhat personally, but I can explain that in another video if you guys care to know. Drop a comment, let me know. Now, apparently, there's some folks out there that are very unhappy with some of the products that they've purchased from him and some of the investments that they made into the businesses and claims that he presented to them that ultimately meant that they were going, or he presented in a way that was going to end up being producing lots of money and revenues and profits for them. And it didn't quite pan out. Now, I don't know if it didn't pan out for everybody, but it didn't pan out for enough where they sued him for it was 53 million and some change, so we'll just round up to 54 million. Well, they sued him for about $54 million. And, at the end of the day, he's ultimately going to, I think they said he's going to file bankruptcy. He's got a few multi-million-dollar mansions in California, San Diego area, in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's been featured on YouTube channels like Graham Stephan and Shelby Church, which I really like Graham Stephan. I really like Shelby Church. Kind of hate that Graham Stephan is the second time I'm mentioning Graham Stephan on this channel in connection with a negative story, the first being his FTX response. I think Kevin David might have also been mentioned on Meet Kevin. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that one. But at the end of the day, what I want to share with you guys is the importance of protecting your assets. And he theoretically had lots of money. They're saying that what he made over this 5-year period was $54 million. That's over $10 million a year. That's impressive, folks. And he had mansions, he had Lamborghinis, he had exotic cars. I'm sure he had probably some expensive items, some luxury timepieces or wristwatches, probably some very expensive clothing and shoes. Who knows everything? But at the end of the day, this lawsuit judgment is going to be settled for $2.6 million. $2.6 million. But from my understanding, they want everything he has. So despite the fact that he made $54 million or about $54 million, he only has, or perhaps maybe is claiming to be worth 2.6. So they want 2.6 million. Now, apparently there's this caveat that if in fact they determine that he's hidden money, then he will then be on the hook, because the FTC is apparently going to be investigating his finances further through some forensic accounting. And if they determine that he hid anything besides this 2.6 million, then he will be in fact on the hook for the remainder of the almost $54 million lawsuit. So let's just say he hid 100 grand. They're not going to be like, no, you owe us 2.7 million. They're going to say, no, you hid 100 grand. Now you owe us 54 million. You see what I'm saying? Now, the whole point of this is not to tell people or try to convince people to hide money from creditors. However, and this is not trying to persuade people or convince people to do anything illegal or or misleading to get money. This is purely just me sharing with you my story about how I feel about these turn of events, and in particular, these courses. I don't think these courses are bad. There's channels out there such as Graham Stephan and Meet Kevin, such as Kevin David. Multiple creators have courses. I don't have a course. But these courses, the thing about courses, think about it. Let's look at a course like we look at college education. And just because you go to college and you spend 4, 6, 8, however many years it takes you to graduate and earn a degree or receive a degree or finance a degree, that doesn't mean that you're going to be successful and or make a lot of money. See what I'm saying? It only gives you the tools and theoretically the knowledge and ability and education, and most importantly, the network. The network is where it's at, really, folks. The network is where the money's at. I'm just saying, if you're smart enough to know about the network, then that's where the money's at. However, a course similar to what Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Kevin David, anybody out there like that may be offering, the course is no different than college education or college acceptance or whatever you want to call it, because it's no guarantee that you're going to make money. Now, a little different here with Kevin David, because apparently he told people that they were going to make a bunch of money. That's the difference, okay? And he was charging like 100 grand to set up these accounts or set up Amazon stores for people. And he's like, look, pay me 100 grand, I'll set it up. I'm an expert, I'm a pro. After I set it up, it'll make you money. If a course tells you, if anything promises you that you will make money, odds are you won't. Or you may not. Let's say you may not. Because the simple fact of the matter is look, for example, I encourage folks to create content. I encourage folks to start YouTube channels. I encourage folks to monetize the information and the content that they create. And I tell you that there are monetization opportunities that can produce income out there. by doing this. It's proven. I am proof. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you do, it's going to be a ton of money. And I would never create a course that would say that if you did my course, you're guaranteed to make money. I would never offer the option for me to set it up for you for 100 grand and guarantee you it's going to make money. Two reasons why. One, it's unrealistic. It's just not really feasible. And two, if it were, why don't I just do it myself? You see what I'm saying? Like, if I know how to continuously, like for instance, I was Kevin David, if I knew how to continuously make Amazon stores that were going to make tons of money, why do I need your 100 grand? I've made 54 million over 10 years or over 5 years. Why do I need your 100 grand to start another store? You see what I'm saying? So think about that. Think about that before you get caught up in that, okay? Now, I'm not saying to not take courses, not engage in opportunities that can increase your knowledge and education. I'm not saying to avoid networking opportunities, because networking is probably the most important way to building wealth. Networking and discipline. Networking, knowledge, discipline. Let's go with that. There's more, but network, knowledge, and discipline are going to be huge, because if you have the network and you have the knowledge, but you don't have the discipline, you're going to spend everything, or you're not going to put the time in. And if you have the knowledge and the discipline, but you don't have the network, you can still do it. It just may be a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more difficult. And if you have the discipline and the network, but you don't have the knowledge, then you're just going to miss every great opportunity that's presented to you. Now, in this particular situation, perhaps maybe through some strategic accounts and management and business structures, maybe he's not hiding money. However, there was a claim that of the 54 million, it was almost like 50 million spent in doing business, 50 million in advertising, 50 million in expenses. That is knocking him down to a lower net worth, okay? A lower valuation of whatever company, whatever brand it may be. Now, in my opinion, if I were to do it, you talking about I spent 50 million in advertising? Okay, sure. Highly unlikely, but maybe I did. And if I did, I spent 50 million in advertising in a separate company that I don't necessarily own, but perhaps I have access to it. Now, these would also be set up in certain states or, certain countries, perhaps maybe with various rules and regulations on the ability for asset protection and investigation and seizure. Just saying. But at the end of the day, what I want to do is I want to build wealth. I want to reduce my tax liability. I want to protect the assets that I have, and I want to theoretically make them invisible. On paper, I want to be worth nothing. Personally, I want to be worth nothing. However, have access to great portions of wealth. Now, the wealth transfer that we're experiencing right now is actually occurring through various different markets, through higher interest rates, through wages, through layoffs, through the housing market and real estate, through the Fed, through the global economy, through war, through conflict, through food prices, gas prices, diesel prices, through the stock market, through the cryptocurrency market. We are seeing a transfer of wealth. But we're also probably going to see a transfer of wealth from some big, well-known, well-to-do, affluent folks out there who've been flashing lots of money, lots of cash, maybe making some outlandish claims out there, and they're probably about to get the squeeze right now. The music is probably about to stop for them, and you're going to have a lot of folks out there trying to uncover the truth and share it and throw it out there for masses to see and be woken up to what's going on. Now, with that being said, I urge folks out there to continuously grind and hustle, invest, build businesses, jump on some cash flow producing assets, get you some blue chip stock investments. Stock market's down. That just basically means that you can buy at a discount. Do not shy away from real estate. Real estate is a great wealth building tool. Save money, budget better, spend less, invest more, make your money work for you, make the economy work for you. Don't work for the economy, and continue to network and align and educate yourself. Maintain your discipline, increase your discipline, and be ready to make hay, because 2023 is coming, okay? And 2023 can either be, you can either say, man, 2023 is going to be a great year for me and my family and my financial situation, or you can say 2023 is going to be worse than 2022, and I don't even know how I'm going to make it. Now, I feel as though if you're still watching this video to this point, then you are of the former, and you believe that 2023 is going to be a great year, and you believe and you know for a fact that you have what it takes to excel, to grow, to build beyond what you have. Hopefully you have some, and we're going to exponentially increase that. And I say we, I'm talking about the network. I'm talking about folks that are having these conversations and these connections and having these talks and sharing this information and knowledge, and helping to uplift others where they can, because it comes around full circle. Rising tides lift all ships, folks. There's so much opportunity out there. I don't want it all. I can't take it all. And I want you guys to capitalize on it as well, especially in the areas that are going to benefit you most. The areas that align with you and your interests and your skills and what you're good at and what you enjoy. And let me leave you with this one. If you're not making content for 2022, please don't start 2023 off the same way. I encourage folks to create content for 2023. And if you are, and you haven't monetized it, I encourage you to monetize your content. If you haven't and you will begin creating content in 2023, begin by monetizing your content. And if you want to know more about that, come on over to the group. I'm going to put out a special video just for the members of the group about monetizing content, so that you guys can be prepared and get ahead of it for the start of 2023. I got something very interesting, very, very helpful. I believe it's going to be very helpful to a lot of folks. And I'm just going to urge folks out there that if you want to see a path to perhaps maybe your first multiple income stream, your first additional income stream, your first seemingly passive income stream, then content creation is a great way of doing it. And like I said, I don't want to have my income solely isolated and linked and connected to just one single source, one single point of failure. So, and I don't want to be locked and tied into just one single point of failure. So multiple income streams is important. Passive income streams are even better. But I think that perhaps maybe 2023 could be the start of a great beginning to perhaps maybe your first business, your first side hustle, you becoming the CEO of your first company, to produce that additional income stream on top of maybe your 9 to 5, on top of your regular job or whatever. Maybe you have 2, maybe you have 3. But we're looking to exponentially increase our earning potential without necessarily directly trading time for dollars. That's what's important. And sharing the story, sharing the information, sharing the knowledge, and creating that content is going to do that, I believe. And, I've been making a strong push for that. We got some members in the group who are actually nearing monetization, which is really cool. But I believe that there's other ways of monetizing your effort and your content and your story outside of the traditional means and methods of YouTube monetization and Google AdSense revenue. I think that there's a huge opportunity that's presenting itself, and I want to share that with you guys. So I'm gonna hang out here at the mall, probably like I said, for the rest of my life as I wait for my daughter to get her hair braided. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.